Hello Math 3 students, and welcome to your 3.4 Edpuzzle video. So for the first one here, we're going to take a look at division problems and kind of what division means, right? So here we have that f of x equals 3 times 5 and g of x equals 3, right? So if we do f of x divided by g of x, right, we get 3 times 5 divided by 3. So let's think about what this means, right? This is the same as 15 divided by 3. Well, that's 5, obviously, right? So notice how when there is a factor inside of the hat and we divide by that factor, whatever's left comes out, right? You can also think about it this way if it helps. I feel like to me it always helps to kind of see it cancel, right? If we have like 3 times 5 divided by 3, boop, boop, you get 5. Same concept, all right? So let's check it out when we have a polynomial and we're dividing it by a binomial there. So let's look. We've got inside of our hat 2x plus 5 and x plus 1. And we're dividing that by x plus 1. All right. So these two guys will cancel and we'll be left with 2x plus 5. Again, another way to think about it is if you had 2x plus 5, x plus 1 divided by x plus 1. Those guys cancel and you are left with the 2x plus 5. All right. So keep that in mind. That's going to help with 1 through 5. All right. Now let's go ahead. We're going to take a look and try these other ones. So what we're doing here is we are multiplying either binomials or binomials and trinomials. We're going to try some of these out. All right. So first off, when you look at this, you should know how to multiply this. All right. You probably learned this as foiling. You've probably heard me say the word foiling. But now we're going to kind of approach it in a different way. All right. So normally when we foil, this is what we do, right? We do these terms times each other. These terms times each other, these terms times each other, and these terms times each other. That's the exact same thing we're going to do today. But I don't want you to just think of it as FOIL, okay? Do you see how each term from the first binomial goes and gets multiplied with each term from the second binomial? Do you see that? So this 6k gets multiplied with the 5k and the 5, and then this 5 gets multiplied with the 5k and the 5, all right? So kind of keep that in mind moving forward. So when we multiply this out, we get 30, k squared. And then we're going to get 30k. Then we do 5 times 5k, which is going to give us a 25k. And then we do 5 times 5, which is going to give us a 25. And then, of course, at the end, we combine like terms, which is going to give us a 30k squared plus 55k plus 25. All right, so that should seem pretty familiar to you. That was just foiling, but we're kind of trying to think about it in a little bit differently. All right, so I want you to try this one out. All right, see if you can multiply these binomials, combine like terms, and get the answer. So we're going to go ahead. This 3 is going to go visit everyone in the next binomial. So we end up with 12x squared and 9x. All right. Now this negative 4 is going to go visit everyone in the next binomial. So we end up with a minus 16x and a negative 12. All right. So when we combine like terms, we end up with 12x squared and a negative 7x and negative 12. All right. Next one. Now this one's a little bit different, right? We're used to multiplying two binomials, which is what you learned when you foiled, right? Here we have a binomial and a trinomial because there's 3 in there, all right? Obviously all polynomials, but we have more specifically a binomial and a trinomial. So I want you to keep in mind, remember how that first guy has to go visit everyone in the second. So we're going to have our 4a go visit everyone over here. So I'm going to get 24a cubed. All right. Then I'm going to get negative 4a squared. And then I get 8a. Then this 2 is going to go visit everyone in the next section. And we get plus 12a squared minus 2a plus 4. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and combine like terms. So we get 24a cubed. And then this negative 4a and this negative 4a squared and this positive 12 can combine, and we get plus 8a squared. Then this 8a and the negative 2 become 6a. Then we've got our plus 4 at the end. So that would be our answer there. All right, so I want you to go ahead and try this one. I'll give you a little hint, right? This first guy needs to go visit everyone in the second. And then our negative 3, keep in mind it's a negative 3, needs to go visit everyone in the second group. All right? So give it a shot. All right. So we're going to do 7k times k squared. That's going to give us 7k cubed. Then we've got negative 14k squared. And then we've got negative 21. Or I'm sorry, goodness, no. Positive 49k. All right. Then we're going to go ahead and do our negative 3. So we get a negative 3k squared plus 6k minus 21. Now we're going to go ahead and combine like terms. We get 7k cubed. And we can combine the negative 14 and the negative 3, which is going to give us a negative 17k squared. We can combine the 49 and the 6k, which is going to give us a 55k. And we've got our negative 21 at the end. So this should have been what you got. All right, next. So before we had the binomial first, now we have the trinomial first. So nothing changes, right? We're going to have everyone in the first group go meet everyone in the second group. All right. It doesn't matter the order. All right. Remember how multiplication, it doesn't matter. This problem here is equivalent to 2r minus 4 times 7r squared minus 6r minus 6. It doesn't matter the order. All right. So if you feel more comfortable rewriting it with the binomial in front, by all means, go ahead. I'm just going to go ahead and do it with the trinomial in front. So we're going to go ahead. Our first guy needs to go visit everyone in the second group. So I'm going to get 14r cubed and negative 28r squared. Then we're going to have our negative 6r go visit everyone. So we end up with a negative 12r squared and a positive 24r. And then we've got our negative 6 going to visit everyone. So we get negative 12r and a positive 24. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and combine like terms. We get 14r cubed. And then we're going to combine our negative 28 and our negative 12r, which is going to give us a negative 40. Or, oh my goodness. Hold on. R squared. Hold on there. Sorry, not with this guy. This negative 28r squared goes with this negative 12r squared. Sorry about that. And we get negative 40r squared. Then we're going to do our 24r and our negative 12r, which is going to give us a positive 12r. And then we got our plus 24 on the end. All right. So now I want you to try this one. Try one with the trinomial where it comes first. All right. All right. So we're going to go ahead and this first term needs to go visit everyone in the second group. So we end up with 2n cubed and a negative 4n squared. All right. Then we've got a we got a positive 6n. So it's going to go visit everyone as well. So we get a plus 12n squared and a minus 24n. And then our negative 4 needs to go visit everyone. So we get negative 4 times 2n, which is going to give us a negative 8n, and a negative 4 times negative 4, which gives us a plus 16. Then we're going to go ahead and combine like terms. So we get 2n cubed. And then we can go ahead and combine these two guys. So we get a plus 8n squared. We can combine these two guys, which gives us a negative 32n, and then a plus 16. All right. Now, this last one, I'm just going to do, so this is a trinomial times a trinomial. So, like I said here, it's going to work just like the others. All right. So technically, you can go beyond this. All right. You can go do one that's 4 terms times 4 terms, 5 terms times 5 terms, 4 terms times 2 terms. You could do a bunch of different ones. This one is 3 terms times 3 terms. So the first guy is going to go visit everyone in the second group. All right. So we're going to get 42n to the 4th. All right. And then we're going to get plus 36n cubed and negative 30n squared. Probably going to have to do these in multiple lines here. I'm going to run out of space. So then we've got a negative 6n we have to go distribute. So we get a negative 42n cubed. We get a negative 36n squared. And a positive 30n. Now we've got our last guy. We got to distribute the negative 5. So we get a negative 35n squared minus 30n plus 25. So you can see how this gets a little bit more complicated the more terms you add, right? So now we got to combine like terms. So we're going to do, we got our 42n to the 4th out in front. So now we got to combine all of our cubed terms. So that's going to be 36 minus 42, which is going to give us a negative 6n cubed. Then we've got our negative 30n squared, our negative 36n squared, and our negative 35. So we're going to negative 30 minus 36 minus 35. And we get negative 101n squared. And we've got our two n terms here, which are going to cancel out because we get positive 30 and negative 30 goes away. We get a plus 25 at the end. So as you can see, it gets a little bit more involved as you add terms in. All right, and I did want to go over one of these guys. I figured you guys are going to look at this and you're going to be like, what? So this is a pattern, a multiplication pattern. So here, let's see, let's go ahead. Let's do number 13, okay? This is the same as like x minus 5 times x minus 5 times x minus 5. If you wanted to do this without using the pattern, you'd have to like multiply these guys out. And then once you got that guy, you'd have to multiply that with the remaining binomial. But what this pattern does is it kind of makes it a little bit easier for you. All right. So first we got to look, we've got a binomial cubed. So this guy tells you what you do with a binomial cubed. Then I'm going to go ahead and look. My a value is negative 5. So let's keep that in mind. My a equals negative 5 because that's your a right there. So all we got to do is go plug in our a value and we get our answer. All right. So we're going to start out with an x cubed and we get plus 3 times our a, which is negative 5. And then we get x squared plus 3 times negative 5 squared x plus negative 5 cubed. Okay, so notice all I did was take my little, my a value here, which in this case was negative 5, and I just stuck it in to all of the a's. And then we just got to simplify now. So we get x cubed minus 15x squared. And you're going to end up with what? Let's see, 25 times 3, so plus 75x. And then you're going to get a minus 125. All right. And that would be your answer there. So all of these should just kind of look like polynomials, and you use the chart above to help guide you.